guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona in the second leg of the Copa del Rey, one game away from the final later on this month, in the final Saturday of the month of April. And of course, this is a huge opportunity to not only win a domestic treble, not only win a quadruple, not only win a double, but to add another trophy to the cabinet of Football Club Barcelona, and you're only 2 games away from it. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9:30 p.m. local time, so we do have a very late kickoff time tomorrow, probably the latest kickoff time we could actually have. And this match will be taking place at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium, of course the home of Atletico Madrid, all the way in the capital of Spain. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed as well. On the pitch, it will be Jose Luis Muniera Montero, and on the VAR, it will be Juan Martinez Muniera. Of course, the road from now until the final is very short, with the other semi-final, Real Madrid and Real Sociedad match second leg taking place later on today, where Real Madrid, of course, do have an advantage from the first leg, winning it 1-0. So by the time we do reach, of course, the Barcelona Atletico Madrid match tomorrow, we will know who the potential Copa del Rey final opponent will be. So keep your eyes on that match, on that game later on today. And of course, in the first leg of our match, it did end 4-4. So again, it's a draw going into this game, so no one has a real advantage. Whoever wins on the night will advance, whoever loses will be knocked out. If the 120 minutes does end in a draw, it will go to penalties. I believe there is extra time, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, because I know that in the previous rounds it goes to 90 minutes and then penalties, but of course those are all one-legged games. I think in two-legged goes 120 minutes and then penalties, so no team has an advantage. Of course, there's no away goals. No matter the goals you scored is irrelevant. The first game was a draw, so all to play for in this match. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Atletico Madrid. I've been watching, of course, Atletico Madrid for the past 15-20 years of my life, and to be honest, this is top 2, if not number 1, best Atletico Madrid teams I have ever witnessed. I know they're probably going to go on and win little to no trophies, but on the pitch during matches, from the Barcelona perspective, this is the best, or one of the best Atletico Madrid teams I've seen. Of course, a very historic team in La Liga, in world of football period. And the last time we did face them, of course, was the final match before the March international break, 4-2 win in the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium as well. The games against Atletico Madrid this season have been very tight, very fine margin, and in this game we got the edge. We were down 2-0 in the 70th minute, 4 goals in the last 20 minutes to win the game. Huge monumental 3 points in La Liga. And in terms of the starting 11, very similar to what we will see tomorrow. We are expecting, of course, minimum 2 changes. We'll talk about that later on, but still one of our strongest teams. They had a very good team that they fielded as well. Very even game. To be fair, the 2 goals Atletico Madrid scored were both huge errors by Barcelona. I think the first one, of course, was by Lewandowski. Second one was a failed line. I believe it was by Inigo or Kounde. I forget who it was exactly, but in the end, we scored 4 great goals, because many goals, a bit of a deflection, but we got the win in a very tight game. Now, since this game, Atletico Madrid have only played once, and that was their last weekend game, 1-1 draw with Espanyol. So we're only going to cover that game. You want to know the other games, the Getafe game, the doubleheader against Madrid, that is in the previous preview for the league game. I'm not going to go over it again. But on the game last weekend, keep in mind, of course, they did play on Saturday. They are coming to this match with 24 hours extra rest than Barcelona. Of course, they had to travel to Barcelona to play Espanyol, but again, they did play on Saturday, and we played on Sunday. The Jew 1-1 with Espanyol. Espanyol have taken 4 points from 6 against both Madrid teams at home this season, and we play them away, so we'll see how that goes. You can see that lineup, of course, on the right hand side as well. All back in goal: Llorente at right back, Lenormand, Lenglet, Azpilicueta at left back, Simeone, Gallagher, Barrios, Lino, Sorloth, and Antoine Griezmann starting. To be fair, Atletico were so bad in this game. The one goal they scored was an absolute cracker, 30 yards on the volley from distance from Azpilicueta. The goal they conceded was a penalty, but apart from that, they very rarely created. I believe Griezmann missed a big chance around the second half before Espanyol got the penalty, and that was pretty much it. They were very poor in this game, Atleti. And if you look at the last game we played against them, the 4-4 game, which of course was in the cup, they also had a pretty, I would say, mid-performance in this game. You can see the lineup as well, very similar to that. Of course, the goalkeeper is going to change with Musso coming in, having Galanos at left back, DePaul's in the team along with Alvarez. Of course, they missed this game due to play for South America in the international breaks. You know, DePaul and Alvarez, they probably will be back for this game. Of course, that's what we're going to probably see a lineup similar to this one. But in this game, they of course started off very well after the Barcelona mistakes, going up 2-0. They were down 4-2, persevered, brought it back to 4-4. So 2 different comebacks in this game from Atleti, but from the 10th minute until the 80th minute, we were absolutely all over them. And you can tell that even from the first game that we played against them. Where is it? Here in this game as well. We were dominating that first 40 minutes in the first half. They got 1 goal before halftime with Alvarez. We came back, bit of a slow start from us, then Sorloth scored, then we dominated. All the games this season, Barcelona have dominated 9 times out of 10 for the majority of the game, and we have 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw. So very even affairs this season, very much separated in every single game. Separation is fine margins. Now on the screen right now is the lineup that I believe that Diego Simeone will select in this match for Atletico Madrid. I think it will be Musso in goal, a back four Llorente, Jimenez, Clement Lenglet, and Lenildo. Midfield 4 of Simeone, DePaul, Barrios, and Lino. Front 2, Antoine Griezmann and Julian Alvarez. It's going to be difficult, of course, to predict it. Musso coming in goal will be a benefit of the Barcelona. We should have capitalized on him in the first leg. He was so bad in the first leg. Hopefully he doesn't play well in this game. Back line, there are a lot of reports saying that Azpilicueta could start. We could see Azpilicueta at right back, then Llorente in the midfield, maybe for Lino. We could see, of course, Azpilicueta at left back for Ronaldo as well. So keep your eyes on that kind of movement. We could maybe see Conor Gallagher in the midfield. That's pretty much it. So maybe you can see Llorente go to the midfield for Lino out, and then Azpilicueta in defense, or Azpilicueta in defense straight up. So maybe 2 changes from this team. Except I think the 2 players that are contention for the starting 11 are Gallagher and Azpilicueta. I think the rest of the team is pretty much solid from them. Of course, it'll be DePaul and Alvarez's first game in about a week or so, very similar to, of course, Raphinha. So maybe they could be a bit leggy, but yeah, still a very strong team, very cohesive lineup. This has been, kind of their pillar, the set in stone, masterpiece of an XI this season, and it will be hard to break down. So overall, final thoughts on Atletico de Madrid. They're one of the best teams in the world. Like I mentioned, this is the best Atletico Madrid team I've seen play over the course of the season. In terms of stylistically, I feel they're much more open, much more free-flowing. They're, of course, managed by the most expensive manager on the biggest salary in the world, Diego Simeone. Trophy-wise, hasn't really done much for them over the past 15-20 years, but status-wise, where they've been, he's, of course, worked absolute miracles for them, and a manager that has done a lot of good results against Barcelona at the Metropolitano Stadium, maybe away from home, not the best. Of course, hasn't won at the Camp Nou at all in the league. Of course, it's not a league game, this is a Copa del Rey game. Then the last time we were in the Copa del Rey, we did, of course, knock them out in the semifinal to win the Copa del Rey in the 2016-17 season, the final season of Luis Enrique. So hopefully we can repeat that in this game. In terms of players to look out for, I mean, it's just fucking Sorloth off the bench. If we're being honest, again, with Sorloth off the bench, he's now scored in all 3 games we played against Atletico this season. Again, he's kind of that mold that that Barcelona really struggle against in terms of a striker. Again, as soon as he comes in, you bring on Araujo. It is as clear as day and as simple as day to nullify that effect. In terms of starting 11, I think the 3 I'd look out for is Griezmann and Alvarez up front, and then DePaul in the midfield. I think those have been their best 3 players this season. Of course, Simeone on the right-hand side has been very effective for them this season. Lenglet, he's done well against us in the 3 games this season, but has had a few mistakes recently. A mistake in the Madrid derby in the Champions League. He gave away the penalty against Espanyol this past weekend as well. So maybe a little bit of a Lenglet that we know can come up in this game. Of course, Llorente, a fantastic player as well. No All Black will be a big miss. One of the best goalkeepers this season. Musso coming in. So This team is vulnerable. I think they're probably at their most vulnerable state in this game. Their second choice goalkeeper, players coming back fresh off the international break, coming off the back of that draw, and probably being 1 foot out of the La Liga title. This is the last trophy that Atletico Madrid can pretty much guarantee compete for this season. So they will be up for it. They are going to be at home. It's going to be very, very difficult, but we have to not only match the hunger of Atletico to win this game, but overpower it. Now, heading into this match, we do have some positive injury updates around the first team to report on. Firstly, on Ter Stegen, he has trained partially with the team for the first time over the past few days, according to Tony Clemente from Sport. Apparently, his aim is to be fully fit for the second leg against Dortmund in the Champions League, which is in about 2 weeks. So he already has done some partial team training. So again, he's probably going to be back at fully green light, I would say, in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're going to see Ter Stegen again this season, which I think is crazy for his season-ending injury back in September. But expect Mark to be back at some point this season. He is getting closer to the medical green light. Also, a big update as well on Raphinha. Of course, did not play against Osasuna and did not play against Girona on the weekend as well, but everything reports he will be fine. He just had some overload, extreme fatigue, no injury whatsoever. His camp, according to Hemming from AS, said he'll be 190% ready for the Atletico Madrid game, and of course we saw that this morning. He did train with the team. The team did not train a lot on the pitch. Of course, the training session is booked for an hour and a half. Apparently they spent a good 45 minutes and an hour in the tactics room. They only trained for about half an hour, 40 minutes on the pitch. And while they trained on the pitch, Christensen and Rafa both did the full training with the first team. So Rafa should be fully fit. Expect Christensen to be back very soon as well. But again, with the management of so many games, Flick wants to manage the load, doesn't want to have too many high intensity training sessions. And that's why in this training session today, he had more of a tactical approach to it than more so on the pitch work. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke after the training session at the Ciudad Deportiva Joan Gamper this afternoon in Barcelona. And let's get into see what the Mr. had to say this afternoon. On the match, of course, he came out saying it's a different match because it will feel like a final before the final. Everyone wants to reach the final. Barcelona can be proud of what they do. They work hard. They've earned everything they've achieved. We're satisfied with the level of commitment, and they find the right response in every situation. So far, we haven't gone anywhere. It won't be easy. They have a great coach. They know how to play well. They'll fight until the last minute. On the game, my attitude is always to try. We'll see the result tomorrow. They've improved a lot. I value the way they play and how we've conducted ourselves. But it's football. We're all happy with our style and how we've improved. I believe in what we can do. That's the most important thing. The atmosphere, the way we work. We have to keep working like this. He was asked about the number 10, who's going to play there without Dani Olmo. Will it be Rafa, Fermin, Gavi? He said, look, in this position, you have to find the right position. Press, it's always like that. There are some players tomorrow. We'll see. I believe in all the players. They can do well. Be positive. We'll see tomorrow. We have been more united than ever off the pitch. On the goalkeeper, he was asked, of course, with Ter Stegen coming back, who will be number 1. He said, look, we'll see step by step, day by day. We'll wait for Ter Stegen to fully recover. Today isn't the day to speak about this. If everything goes in the right direction, we should be happy that he is back at some point. As Uncle Barcy, if he's good to start this game, he said, look, yep, he's ready, just like Raphinha is. We've given him a little bit more time to rest, and it was the right decision. As having 1 day less than Atletico, of course, like I mentioned, Atletico played on Saturday, we played on Sunday. He said, look, it's going as it is. We don't know what will happen. We're focused on the 90 minutes, but if it goes to 120 minutes and penalties, we have to be prepared for that. Of course, Atletico are a great team. On the dangers of Atletico, he said that, look, it's the closest title we've had. There's time in La Liga. I'm a very experienced coach who knows how things can turn around quickly. It was as if we've been practicing penalties. And look, some of the players have taken a few penalties, nothing special. It happens sometimes, but if it happens, we will be prepared for a shootout. On the rotation for this game, we rotate a little bit, go with the typical Gala 11. Said, look, we have our idea how to play tomorrow, and we may make some changes, but you will see tomorrow. And finally, on the team being the best team in the world currently, said, look, we play great football. I appreciate that. The fans appreciate it too. You like comparing us to Real Madrid, of course, speaking here to the media. Madrid is a great team with a great coach. The team can be proud. I feel the hunger to win titles, and we will see how things turn out. And that concluded Hansi Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Atletico Madrid tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be very, very, very easy to predict, barring one change. I think he'll go with this lineup on the screen right now, with Wojciech Szczesny in goal, a back four of Jules Kounde, Pau Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield three of Frankie de Jong, Pedri Gonzalez, and Pablo Gave. Front three of Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, and Raphinha. Of course, like he even mentioned in the press conference, the question is, who will play in the 10? Will it be Gavi? Will it be Fermin? Will he put Pedri in the 10 and then play Eric Garcia in the midfield? Those are pretty much your three options. I think he will go with Gavi. I think it's a pretty straightforward selection from Flick. I think Fermin could do a job, but I think Fermin's off the ball work isn't as good as Gavi, and that's why I think he'll go with Gavi. I don't think he'll go with Gavi mainly for his output in the final third, but more so his built-up play, his work off the ball, his intensity, his pressure. The rest of the team really picks itself. I think, of course, he will go full strength. He, of course, could, pull a blinder on us and rotate, start Ferran out wide for Lamine. Of course, did this in the first leg, starting Ferran out of nowhere for Lewandowski, but I don't think he will do that. I think he'll probably go full strength in this game, rotate a little bit this upcoming weekend against Betis on Saturday. But this is the line I think the Hansi Flick was left for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. Not going to waste your time here. Pick the exact same team as Flick. I also would go with Gavi in the 10. Playing Pedri in the 10 would be absolutely idiotic in this game. Although, De Jong came in against Girona and played in the 8, you do not mess up and tinker what's already working. De Jong in the 6 works fine. With Pedri in the 8, don't need to break it up. I am a bit worried that Flick might do it. It did not cross my mind. I was thinking Gavi or Fermin. I'll go with Gavi. Again, I just think that Gavi in the bigger games, having that dog in him, getting in the players' faces, speaking with the referee, all this, along with his work on the ball and off the ball, trumps Fermin. I think Fermin is a good little player. I think he can definitely perform in a game like this. Of course, scored at the Metropolitano last season in La Liga. Definitely a player that I would be comfortable starting, for example, if Gavi isn't ready. But I do think Gavi is more suited for this game. I think you're going to rely, of course, heavily on that front three to score goals, which I think they can do. But I think the work of Gavi off the ball is just going to be so integral against that, intense low block of Atletico Madrid. So I have gone with Gavi in the 10. The rest of the team, of course, the same as Flick. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you agree or disagree with mine and Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I am predicting a 1-0 win for Barcelona. I know that the other games have been very big scoring games, 4-2, 4-4, 2-1. But I think with that all being anticipated, I think this will be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be very, very tight. Whether Atletico are coming this game, hungry and off poor form. Both teams are tired, of course, with so many games this season. I do think Barcelona have the edge. I don't think this will go to penalties or extra time. I think one of these two teams will win it in 90 minutes. I think if we go to penalties and extra time, it will favor Atletico a little bit. Then again, they had that against Madrid in the Champions League and they end up losing, so that will of course have an important factor. I think this game will come down to really who makes the mistake first. I think the team that makes the mistake and the other team, of course, capitalizing on it will be the one that has the final say so. I do expect the one goal that Barcelona do score to be from Atletico Madrid's sake, hopefully from Lenglet. But I think it will be a very, very, very tight game. Do I think we can lose this game, maybe knocked out? Absolutely. I'd probably put this at 55% Barcelona, 45% Atletico. I think it's that close. I think that with the wins that we've already seen this season, Atletico, of course, being at home, so you have to give them a tiny bit of an advantage. Barcelona, of course, having 2 games in the past 5 or 6 days where Atletico have not, they've only played once. So all these things are an accumulation of what is to come. But we'll wait and see on the result later on today. If it's Sociedad, now move on. Bloody hell, we're going to be better lock in. But if it's Madrid, probably as expected, it won't give us any sort of extra motivation. But I'm going to Barcelona to progress. I'm feeling good about it. I wouldn't say I'm feeling super confident, but definitely optimistic. But my official score prediction is a 1-0 win for Barcelona in 90 minutes. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that's a match preview for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona in the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The first thing I want to know is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, do you agree with my lineup and Flick's lineup? Would you disagree? Would you go for a different personnel, different system, different approach? Leave me all your thoughts down in the comments below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow share after the match by my match review. So see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Hopefully some way somehow we do book our spot in the Copa del Rey final. Take care and Forza Barca.
Go,